My name is Helena Scutt. I sail the Nacra 17 with Bora Gulari, and we're here at the Hempel 2018 Aarhus World Championships in Aarhus, Denmark. And it's the first Olympic qualifier for country berths for the 2020 Olympics. And it's the biggest world. There's 90 countries here. It's a huge event. So we're here with Harken and sharing a little bit of our story, and we're excited to be here.
My name is Bora Gulari, and I sail the Nacra 17 with Helena Scutt. We get to compete in our first World Championships this time around, so got taken away from us last year courtesy of a little injury, and I'm excited.
Last quad for 2016 in Rio, I sailed the 49er FX with my skipper Harken, and so we were at the Rio Games and finished top 10, made the medal race. That was our goal. So that was a great first games for us, and then since Rio, I started sailing the Nacra with Bora and did several weekends in the seafoil boat, and then it was converted to fully foiling and been having a blast ever since. Sailing with Bora, he's really passionate, he's intense, he's direct, and we're very different in a lot of ways, but I think that's like a lot of complementary ways that will be strengths, and like any team, there's things you work through to better understand each other, and ultimately to win a medal you have to bring out the best in each other. There's just no other way to do it. So that process it's hard, it's rewarding, and it's a lot more when you're on the road a lot, when there's injuries, which we both had, things like that. You have to work through a lot, and so it may seem simple watching these little boats go around the course, but there's so much behind the scenes, and I really enjoy that dynamic.
It's really good with sailing with Helena. She actually keeps me quite honest about some of my bad habits, and being a grumpy old guy a lot. Been at it for a while, and it's awesome. I mean, there's a lot of the enjoyment in sailing comes from teaching and passing on of knowledge, and that I feel like there's that aspect like every single day, just the little technique things and what the boat's telling you and what to feel back, and just it's very enjoyable. Helena really embraces the learning aspect and has jumped head first into it, and so it's refreshing.
I've always loved trapezing, and I've always loved sailing with another person, and I got that in the skiff, and then now I get to foil at it too. So yeah, I really like that. It's definitely a heavy boat, and so there are limitations with that, but I'm excited to be part of the first Olympic foiling class and get to sail with Bora. So to me it was a great next step.
Oh, I think it's a lot of the same peculiarities of the Nacra 17 have transferred over to the Z-foil transformation. There's some pretty darn good ACAT sailors, in fact the current world champions here, and he's kind of just coming to grips and getting up to speed with the Nacra, so it has its own set of peculiarities that are unique to the boat.
And there are some little things like, oh, I got to pull out the tack line before I go for the halyard, stuff like that. But coming from the FX, well, I think the foundation is that the skiff teaches you a lot of really good habits. And so I'm good on the trapeze and know how to trim the spinnaker, all those things. But there are definitely some things that totally go against instincts. Like in the skiff, usually any wave, you just are trying to be as far back as possible. And so you're already in the foot strap, you lean back, but you can't really walk around much. You're supposed to be in the back of the boat. In this boat, when it gets hairy, we're foiling, and so I need to go forward to reduce the angle of attack on the foils, reduce lift. And so that was definitely a little anti-instinctual at first, but now it's like second nature.
It's just what governs ride height is the crew's fore-aft movement, skipper included. She does the majority of the work, and kind of the angle that you present the boat to the waves and the wind. There's a lot of heel control through helm angle and also sheets. That's the majority of it. Unfortunately, we do not have the ability to adjust our rudders on the fly, so you really are kind of fixed with what you got. Well, first of all, I'm pretty happy to say that's a picture of us, so that's pretty cool. Wish it was more recent. I think we'd look better, but I always look at that and see it in pictures. The Mainsheet system has been just a dramatic improvement in my mind. It was excellent working with the guys at Harken. I mean, all the engineers, we would come up with an idea. There would be a prototype built. We'd sail with it for a while, ship it back, get a new one. I think we were probably at around 4 revisions before we ended up to the, might even be more, before the Harken production model got out, and just enables easier sailing. I mean, you can focus on just the little things instead of trying to bulldog a Mainsheet that goes through a whole bunch of blocks that you're losing in efficiency at. And I mean, in the end, I think on the test bench, there was a 30% improvement on pulling load versus the load transfer. So that's nothing to joke about.
Yeah. So the general rule is upwind, I trim it. But if it's light enough that I'm up next to the pole, or forward on the bows, then Bora has the main, and basically once I'm trapping steadily and not moving in and out a lot, then I'll take the main. And then I have it once we're double trapping, and then as soon as we're going downwind, just before the mark, I pass it off to Bora, and then I'm on the spinnaker and jib. I just want to say that I've been spoiled having this Mainsheet system because I didn't ever have to use the old one. And so I come in and Bora's already got prototypes going, and then the latest improvement was the grippier sheave on the ratchet.
The standard black ratchet ends up being a little slick. I think we get about a 90-degree wrap with it. So what we've done is gone to I think we're on not the platinum, but I think the 1.5 is what we're using. Maybe it's the 2X. It's just the best group of guys to work with. They listen, the turnaround is fast, and they really try to understand your problems every time you have something.